Well, hey everybody, it's the 30th day of June 2025. I'm Jan Erickson, and this is As Above, So Below. Well, I hope you're doing well. It looks like our cottonwood trees are ending their shedding time. It usually lasts 2 or 3 weeks. It depends on the trees, how old they are, and a lot of them have come down, fortunately. We've taken them down. A couple of them fell down. That was scary. But that's what happens. They just get to an age where they just fall apart. So, but they do shed once a year, usually in June, and you get cotton everywhere, and it's extremely allergenic. And my ears are very plugged today, so I'll either talk too loud or not loud enough. So you might need to adjust your volume because I can't hear myself very well. Anyway, we're going to start today with Uruz. The second rune of the Elder Futhark, it means oryx. Kind of looks, if you kind of imagine a big bison, kind of with that angled back to them. But it's basically energy shaping matter. It's healing and strength and endurance. It's thought to be the primal forming essence, one rune masters called it. But it really is how we shape our reality, how we're going to do that here. It's a water element rune, so that it invokes change and manipulation of things, and just like water does. If you've ever seen water flow across land it's not supposed to be flowing across, then you see you just look what a flood looks like and the changes that happen there. So it also invokes change as well. Gosh, I wish my ears would clear. It's so annoying. Let's see, there's earth, there's fire. So I think I have, I have Rubeus. Okay. Rubeus is the complement of Albus. And Rubeus is a very, instead of Albus being the sage and the wise person and accessing higher clarity and wisdom, you're looking at the opposite of that. And so you're looking at an overactive ego. You're looking at someone who's controlling. You're looking at trying to push your personal agenda. There could be a misuse of force. But basically, it's, how are you going to manifest today? How are you going to shape your environment and shape your life and your world, and the choices that you make? You have to be very, very careful. The blowback from trying to control people can be, quite a bit. And so this is either referring to you and how you're going to shape things, or if this is referring to someone else, if Rubeus is referring to somebody who's trying to do that to you, they may be the ones trying to shape your reality in a way that suits them instead of how best works for you. And so we'll just remember that I'll try to do this from two directions here, two perspectives. Either one where you're experiencing a little bit of control issues today, and that's shaping your reality. Or if you're looking at the strength side of Uruz, are you in fact standing firm while someone else is trying to do that and shape your reality for you in a way that just is not going to be workable? Works more for them, but not at all for you. You get people in this world that like to use you, like to con you, and use you to manifest what they want. They'll tell you all kinds of things that are true that aren't, and it, and so you're trying to figure out, how am I going to deal with this experience or shape this experience in a way that I don't fall victim to that. Let's take 3 cards. Well, we have the card of death here, which is also about shaping your reality in a sense. It's about transition and transformation and rebirth. We also have the Knight of Swords and the Page of Wands. So we don't have a run on anything here today like we did last week. We had a run on swords both days that we did readings last week. But I think that let's talk about the Knight here first. Knights are on quests. They're there to help people. They're there to be in service to others in some way, whether it's the king or other people. And here it looks like this knight is riding against the wind, and I say that because the trees are leaning this way and he's going the other way. Oops, he's going that way. It's almost like his sword is breaking through the deception of the clouds there. Clouds oftentimes indicate deception or emotion. But basically, he's riding forward very quickly, very swiftly. Swords can indicate, so can wands. That can indicate swift movement as well. Swords represents the air element, wands represents the fire element, and you're talking about very active principles versus earth and water, which are passive influences. But here you're looking at he's charging back to deal with something. It's like he's going toward the past to right a wrong or to deal with something that should never have been in the first place. And again, if you're talking about Rubeus energy here, it may in fact be somebody else in your life that's trying to influence you in ways that are not productive and are not valuable to you at all. And you're trying to and they're trying to actually shape your experiences to suit them versus you doing that, exercising or invoking that Uru's energy to shape your own experiences. And so in a way, here you're doing that in response to something else. And so I would suggest then that the knight is then indicative of Rubeus being not you, but in fact somebody else who's trying to come in and influence you in a way that's not going to be productive and interfere with basically the new opportunities you want to create for yourself. Here you have the Page of Wands. All pages, depending on the deck, they can either be a boy or a girl or an androgynous type of a figure. In this case, with the suit of wands and the fire element, you're seeing the elemental here. That's in the shape of an Ouroboros. It's a salamander, and it's on his tunic. You see the same little feather here that you'll see in the hat of the Fool. And indicating a new type of life that's about to come into play. And so it looks like that, he's looking at his new opportunity and trying to deliver that message. So they can also be students, they can also be messengers, seekers, but with wands, it's going to be something that's very transformative and creative and reflect new opportunities. And so it could be that irrespective of where you put these two, you could start with the page, but I think that getting this negative influence, this Rubeus influence out of your orbit, essentially through the Knight of Swords, you can then go on and see those new to express your new ideas, to embrace those new opportunities in a way that is very similar. The page is the first card of the suit of or of the grouping of the court, and so in a way, you can look at the Fool, the Ace, and the Page in a similar way in terms of newness and taking that leap into new experiences. Generally speaking, with pages, you're looking at a student and someone who's so it's a little bit different than the Ace energy and the Fool energy, but it's still that beginning point. With the Fool being the beginning point of that unity consciousness, if you will, of the major arcana. And then the aces being the beginning point and holding all of the energy of their particular suit. Well, the page is that beginning energy. After you manifest things through urus, then the page is then ready to learn new things about that. And it's almost like he's gazing at the potential of opportunities as he's on his quest for knowledge, essentially. And when you do all of that, you come to the card of death, card 13 in the major arcana. Here you have death riding through on a white horse. His focus is downward into form. You can tell you've got the pentagram here. This would be the spirit, and the others would be the four elements. Here, instead of spirit, you have the earthly form here that's transitioning into something else. You have a new day over here coming with the dawn of the sun coming back. You see the town. That's what the black part right there, it looks to me like the kingdom or the town. Here you have the towers. So it's almost like they're out away from because you can see some cliffs right here. Oh, I'm looking at it, I should show you. The cliffs are right here. Here you have the river. You have what looks like the ferryman's boat right there, ready to take the soul of the king into its new experiences, its return back into form, or wherever the soul decides it wants to go next. You have the priest administering last rites. You have the queen bereft right here. You have their son right there next to the queen, next to his mother. And this is just a very dark, emotional time for the family, but at the same time, a transition is about to take place. The sun oftentimes represents the creator, and so the creator could be coming in and helping the soul transition into its next life or its next experience, right? And so it could also be a rebirth into something. It could also indicate change and opportunities as well with the card of death. And so in a sense, once you get the negative influences out of your way, who's trying to control you and shape your reality for their benefit with Rubeus, you're able then to continue pursuing your education that will lead you to new opportunities. And education could mean a variety of different things, just advancing your own skill set at your current job maybe, or going to school, either college, university, trade school, apprenticeship, whatever it is, that you're going to do to increase all of that so you have new opportunities to embrace with the Page of Wands. And then you watch the transition happen, getting away from the I can't and getting into the I can and I will and I am. Into the more positive aspects here, where you are ready then to manifest your reality and stand strong against any negative influences that might try to co-opt some of that. I mean, we all experience it. Sometimes it's family, sometimes it's friends, sometimes it's coworkers that don't want to see you succeed. Maybe because they didn't succeed, and so they tend to be negative and they try to undermine you and make it so that you don't go and achieve all the things that they didn't. And so you have people with personal agendas that maybe they're not even aware of, but some are, and they do it deliberately, and it just really speaks to the necessity, I think, of accessing higher awareness so that you see this for what it is and you're not influenced by it, because all that's going to do is keep you from meeting your goals, keep you from embracing the energy of the Page of Wands and doing what's necessary to get where you need to go, whatever that is. And again, dealing with the Rubeus energy swiftly and with intention, and with power and energy and drive, and just saying, look, I'm going to do what I'm going to do, and I thank you for your input. Be nice, obviously, or not. If they've really offended you, then you can let them have it, maybe. But I don't know. But just let them know that I'm not interested. I'm gonna just walk away. You can smile, say absolutely nothing, which drives them nuts. And then anybody who's trying to influence you like that, if you don't respond at all, you just smile and either change the subject or walk away. They don't know what to do with that. So it makes them a little nervous, I think, which is good because they need to not behave that way, right? But I think that that's what this is. I think it defines it more that the Rubeus energy is not your own. It's somebody else that's trying to come in and undermine what you're doing for their own benefit. And maybe the promotion you're wanting, they're wanting too, see, and so they're going to try and undermine you and keep you from going for it, when in fact, that's your next step in life, So, so you cut through the BS of it all, right? And the nonsense, and you just say, no, I'm going to go do what I need to do. You turn your focus away to the new direction and the new opportunities in store for you. And you make that transition into a new experience. So, letting go of this person. See, I don't see you anymore. So, anyway, I think that's it. I don't think we need another card to define this any further. Again, oh, did I do that? Did I write that down? Yeah, let me make sure. Oh, I don't think I did. Let me do the numerology really quick. So we have 2 for Urus, nothing for the Page of Wands or the Knight of Swords, and 13. So that's 15. That's 6. Yeah, 6 is about, it can be about shared path, obviously not with the Rubeus energy though. It can be also about empathy and guidance and assistance, maybe asking for assistance from someone, especially if you're a student. There's that implication that your instructor is somebody, or professor or whatever, is there to help you, understand what's going on. Asking for higher assistance as well, that might be another thing. But as a student, you would have your teacher to help you understand things, and if you have questions, and or you're asking for guidance, maybe from a guidance counselor, say at college or wherever you're at. So there's that element there, I think. I like to think of the 6, though, also as shared path, and so you want to be careful who you share your path with. So, and make sure it's not this negative, controlling misuse of force energy that Rubeus offers. So I forgot to do the numerology. Anyway, sometimes I do that, I forget. But anyway, I think it's pretty clear that you're here to manifest your own reality and not allow other people to try to influence you in a way that's going to be counter to that. So anyhow, thanks for watching. Click subscribe. I'd love you to do that if you haven't. Check out the blog over at Stepping Aside. The web address there is imsteppingaside.com. The forecasts for the week and the correspondences for Work and Magic come out in the midnight hour on Sunday mornings. I cross-publish part of those over on Substack with a link back to the blog. Come back on Monday. Or no, this is Monday. Come back on Thursday for another edition of As Above, So Below. Be good to yourself. Be good to one another. And blessed be.